Welcome to Amelio's, or Oye Amigos. Because the name Oye Amigos came from Amelio, because he said, hey guy, hey friend.
Really?
So that's kind of what that means, the closest I could get to that.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why it's called Oye Amigos.
So that's how the name was born.
Yeah.
I love that. He didn't remember anybody's name, so he would just
didn't.
go around.
He'd always say, hey guy.
Wow. But
Yeah.
everybody knew him. Everybody
knew him.
That is so cool. Well, I'm here with Jerry, and I'm so excited to get some behind the scenes and stories about this wonderful restaurant. It's one of my favorites, and I know everybody out there who has been here is a loyal fan. So, Jerry, tell us about your beginnings at the original restaurant.
I worked 22 years for Amelo.
Okay.
And I started when I was 12 years old because
Wow.
my sister worked there. So I'd ride my motorcycle up there every day and help her wash dishes.
Yeah.
So when she left, I took over her spot.
Wow, that's amazing. What a great first job, and
It was too.
Oh my gosh. So what was that like back in the day? What was the kitchen like? What was the crowds like? Was it really busy all the time?
It usually was very busy, and it would be a lot of times on Friday and Saturday nights. They were standing out lines. They were backed up out the door.
Oh my goodness. Now, Amelo is definitely a one of a kind, and his restaurant is one of a kind. So tell me a little bit about him.
Amelio believes that the earth is where you are born. You come up from the earth. And several people that he sat down and talked with, that's what his belief was. And if Amelio didn't like you, he didn't like you.
Oh my goodness.
We had employees that started, and he treated them very, very rotten. But if he liked you, he treated you very, very well.
So I guess the lesson here is that in the food industry, if you keep your nose down, work hard, that's just a good way to be, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I can't say these girls didn't work hard, because they did. But he just had that personality.
Oh. And he is actually born in Mexico, right?
Yes.
So born in Mexico, and then opened up a restaurant, I guess, in San Antonio.
He did, and it actually was a chicken restaurant.
Oh my goodness.
He made one of the best fried chickens I've ever had at our Christmas parties.
So he would make that fried chicken for you guys as well.
At our Christmas party.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is wonderful. Well, I wonder how he came up to be here in Battle Creek. Do you know that story?
Yes.
Because this is an odd place to move from Texas to Battle Creek. We moved the opposite, but anyway, yeah.
He did, and then I don't know how he got hooked up with the VA.
Okay.
The VA heard about him or whatever, and then they came and helped him. They got him all the furniture and everything to start the restaurant.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It was very, very nice.
That is fantastic. I remember working up across the street at Waddles Park Hair and Tanning, and I could go there,
Right.
and eat, which is wonderful. But it really, the restaurant had a reputation of just being really good food. And so it sounds like he just cooked things that he loved, that
Yes.
he grew up with. Is that
Yes.
right?
And he tried to make things simple.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yes.
8 items, and not a whole lot, not a chicken product, not this,
Yes.
And people will say, why don't you do that? And he said, I don't need to do that.
It's very much a comfort food. I feel like the approach was really just good comfort food, and that's probably why us people in Battle Creek, we flocked to it, because it was just to sit down and have a great meal.
Right, and a reasonable meal, and still,
Yes,
it's very reasonable. If you go to, you can get one item for I think $3.85 or maybe it's $5 something now. I don't remember.
Right.
Because I haven't been here, but still, and get your tortillas. So then you're making 3 or 4 tacos out of one taco.
Yes, and that's kind of his whole thing. I mean, he had good basic ingredients,
Yeah.
but then gave you the extras to create your own.
Yes.
Which I think a lot of people do. I mean, I always get the bean taco, and then I get a little bit of gravy and some of the tortillas.
Right.
Now let's talk about those tortillas. Were they always just so buttery, delicious, yummy?
Yes, he always put butter on it. But the secret to the tortilla, they come out of a company in Detroit called La Michoacana. The corn, you cannot buy a better corn tortilla than
No.
that.
It's the
Flour
best.
you can buy anywhere, but corn, these are the best.
Oh, I highly agree. There is something about them that are
Yeah.
just, they make your toes wiggle. They're
Well,
so good.
like I said, they make them either the day before or the day we get them.
Oh,
So they
my
can't be any
goodness.
fresher than that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, his menu is different than what people think of Tex-Mex, because I lived in Texas for a while, so we're pretty used to our Tex-Mex, but this is seasoned differently. It's, I think, more simple approach, but it's more, it's hard to say, it's more comforting. It's not too hot. If you don't like really, really spicy food.
Right. Well,
You know.
and you can get it as hot as you want or not hot at all, you know?
There you go. Yes, because tell them a little bit basically about the menu and what makes it so special or unique.
Well, the one is the gravy, the brown gravy we have. It's very spicy, but you can have that on the side and add it as you'd like. And then the other one is the meat. The meat takes 2 days to make because you shred a potato and you boil it. And actually the hamburger is boiled.
Oh,
And then when they
okay.
both cool down, you can mix them.
Oh, that's very unique. And in Texas, you know, I've had a lot of tacos, little street tacos that are like beef and potato together. So that flavor is interesting. I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
And the beans, I mean, I'm such a big fan of the beans. Oh, can you tell me a little insight to that? You don't have to give away the secret, but why are they so good?
Well, one of the things, people think you have to soak the beans, and really you don't.
Oh.
We can do a 10-gallon pot of beans, like in the morning, and then it's done like three hours later. But usually, like today, they have beans already ready, and then they'll add the lard and the flour and the salt to them. But then they'll put another pot on for tomorrow. So that way it cuts down the time of cooking the beans.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Now I know that, you know, when Emilio passed, that a couple people tried to resurrect it because I feel like a lot of fans were like missing it. So when you and your husband Bob, right?
Yeah.
You know, what was your passion for starting it? Was it because of the people and the fans, the loyal fans that were wanting it?
Yes, and this will be in my heart forever. I just love the restaurant, I love the food, and I love my people.
Amen. Amen to that.